Hi, I'm Susan Rutledge, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a picket fence pattern brush in Adobe Illustrator. I've used a lot more pattern brushes than just this picket fence in my illustration. The multicolored pathway you see is a pattern brush that could maybe be used on a game board. There's a path leading out from the school, that's a pattern brush. The tail of the kite is a pattern brush, and even the banner that the plane is flying is a pattern brush. Now, the thing to watch for in this video is what to do when your pattern brush isn't seamless, and that can happen with some of your designs. So I'm going to show you the solution to that problem as well. So be sure and watch until the end, and let's get started on that picket fence. I'll get the rectangle tool and click on the artboard to open the rectangle dialog box. I'm going to type in 1 inch for the width, tab down, type 3 inches for the height, and say OK. I'm going to leave the fill at white. I'm going to change the stroke to black, and let's increase the weight to 3 points. And then I'll move to the left toolbar. I'm going to press down on the pen tool for a flyout menu and grab the Add Anchor Point tool. Now, I want to add an anchor in the center of the top of the rectangle. I'm going to hover over until Illustrator shows me where that midpoint is, and I'll click down with my mouse. If you don't see midpoint and you don't see anchor, you're going to want to go up to View and down to Smart Guides and turn those on. Now, with the anchor selected, I'll go to Object, Transform, over and down to Move. We're not going to move the position horizontally, but vertically, I want to move that anchor up a half of an inch. To move it up, I've got to use a negative value, so I'll type in minus and 0.5 inches and say OK. So that gives me the first picket. I'll hold down the Option key and drag to the right to make a copy, and I'm going to hold the Shift key down so I drag in that same horizontal line, and when I hit the midpoints there, I'll release my mouse. Then with the copy still selected, I'll duplicate the move with the keyboard shortcut Command D, and one more time, Command D. Now I want to make some crossbars for the fence, so I'll get the rectangle tool again, click on the artboard. This time I'll type in 6 inches for the width, tab down and type in 0.33 inches for the height, and say OK. Then I'll get the selection tool and drag our first crossbar over on top of the pickets, and then hold the Option key down and drag out another one. And you can play around with those, place them where you want them. When you've got it like you want, select all the objects on the artboard, go over to the left toolbar and grab the Shape Builder tool, then hold the Option key down and drag over the crossbars that are extending on the left side of the pickets and the right side of the pickets. Now I want to select just the pickets and move them to the front in front of the crossbars. So I'll go up to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. Then we're going to move this up to the left side of the artboard, and I'll hold down the Option key and drag out another copy. So this first grouping is going to be the repeating part of our pattern brush. Illustrator will place it end to end and fill up whatever stroke I apply it to. So I'll select the second picket and delete it, and the fourth picket and delete it. Now, if I just use this piece right here, when Illustrator applies the pattern brush, the end of it is going to have these crossbars sticking out, and I'd rather have a more finished look with a picket on the end. So I'm going to create what Illustrator calls an end tile. This is the ending of the pattern brush. I'm going to select the second picket and delete it, and the fourth picket, we're not going to delete it, we're going to actually move it. I'll hold the Shift key down so I drag in that same horizontal line, and I'm going to drag until I reach the end of the pickets. Illustrator's Smart Guides is going to help me with that placement. And then I'll release my mouse. Now I'm ready to make our pattern brush. So I'll go up to Window, down to Brushes. This opens the Brushes panel. I'm going to grab the Brushes tab and drag and dock it next to the Layers tab. Then we'll select our repeating design, go over to the bottom bar of the Brushes panel, click on the new brush icon, and choose Pattern Brush and say OK. I'm going to name this Picket Fence 1 and leave everything else the same and say OK. So here in the Brushes panel, we now have Picket Fence number 1. Let's get the Line Segment tool, drag out a stroke, and apply our pattern brush and see what we end up with. And Illustrator did place the designs end to end, but it's not a seamless pattern brush because we're able to see where each of those repeats start and stop. We don't want that. We want to have a seamless pattern brush, so we're going to have to add a bounding box. Now, a bounding box is simply an invisible rectangle that you place behind the design, and that tells Illustrator how to make the pattern brush seamless. So we're going to get the rectangle tool, and I've got to first move off of this picket fence and move up to basic, because we definitely don't need to put a fence around our design. Then I'm going to move to the Properties panel. There's no fill, but we've got to remove the stroke so that the bounding box is invisible. Then I'm going to start at the top left and line it up with both the top of the picket and the left. Press down with my mouse and drag to the bottom right. And again, we're using smart guides so that we get a very precise placement. Then I'm going to release my mouse and I'll go up to Object, Arrange, over and down to Send to Back. Then we'll go ahead and do the same thing with our ending tile. So again, we get the rectangle tool. It doesn't have a fill or a stroke. We'll start at the top left, drag down to the bottom right, and release the mouse. Go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back. Then we'll select the repeating design, go to the Brushes panel, and come down to the bottom bar, click on the new brush icon, choose Pattern Brush, say OK. This one's going to be Picket Fence 2, and we'll say OK. Then let's make sure this is Picket Fence 2, the bottom one. Then I'll select the end tile along with the bounding box. I'm going to hold the Option key down and drag the end tile to the last bin in the Brushes panel. And once I have it there, I'm going to release my mouse, and Illustrator adds the end tile to our pattern brush. So we can say OK, and then let's select the stroke and click on Picket Fence, and you can see the huge difference that made by adding the bounding box. The pattern brush itself is seamless, and the ending has that picket to make it look professional. Now, if you want to change the size of your pattern brush, all you have to do is select the stroke, go to the Properties panel, and decrease the size of the stroke, or you can increase the size, and you can increase it to be huge without losing any quality because this is a vector pattern brush. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned some things about creating pattern brushes in Adobe Illustrator. Once you figure out the basics, you're going to be able to take almost any design and turn it into a pattern brush for your projects. So I hope you'll get started and have lots of fun. I do want to invite you to subscribe to my channel, and remember to click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future tutorials, and I'm going to look forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye now.